Hello everyone, I am Arun Patidar, Apache OFBiz committer and PMC member. Today I plan to implement a new feature as a plugin in Apache OFBiz to help in picking. Uh, Idea is to implement a new plugin picking, which will be used by the picker during the picking of item in the warehouse. A PWA app so that the picker can use that PWA app in the mobile and headless API using REST API in the OFBiz for the picking. By combination of these two applications, we want to build an PWA app for the picking to help the picker. So this feature will may take that long time. So we will divide it in the multiple parts, and I will also prepare the video in the parts so that we can check the how we capture the implementation of this feature in the parts. So we are going to start on the implementation plan first, in which we will check how we can use AI for preparing the implementation plan. The goal is to provide a modern, mobile-first, progressive web app for warehouse operators to manage picking process efficiently. This includes creating pick lists from approved orders, performing the physical picking, and completing the pick list. So, before starting the video, I have already prepared the implementation plan using the anti-gravity AI agent, and it created it like us. Proposed changes in the picking component and PW application, API and security, automated test and validation. This new feature will be the large, so we decided to divide this into the logical phases. So I asked anti-gravity to divide this implementation plan into the logical phases. So it divided into the backend foundation phase 1, phase 2 API gateway security, phase 3 front-end core and design system, the workflow queue list, 5 picking experience scanning recording, and 6 is the PW policy finalization. On the basis of these phases, I have also splitted the implementation plan for each phase accordingly and created the Jira ticket using the anti-gravity MCP and subtask, uploaded this implementation details on the ticket. So till now we have implementation plan on the phase splitted into multiple phases, also created parent ticket and with subtask and added the details on the task. So we can review the ticket as well. This is the parent ticket, anti-gravity, and on the sub-ticket there is also the implementation plan on the sub-ticket. Now we will review the implementation plan carefully and see it is correct or not. If this makes sense, then we'll go with this. Otherwise, we'll ask to update the plan accordingly. The implementation on the phases, we have to solid review of the implementation plan first, so that if any changes are required, then on the early stage changes will be easy instead of doing the later changes. So let's do the solid review of the phase 1 first, in which it is saying that the backend foundation will be created, in which picking component will be created or this component, and it mentioned that it will create the new service at get orders to pick, create pick list, get pick list for picking, record pick, and the complete pick list for the overall process. So here my concern is that instead of creating the new services, if there are any existing service that we can use, that will be good. So for example, for the get orders to pick, I think we have one existing service here that can be used, so we can check the feasibility of using that existing service. So I am prompting to check the compatibility of the existing service. Can we use existing service for getting list of orders to pick? If we know the name, its name find orders to pick move is OFBiz service. Check the feasibility of this. So I knew the name of the existing service, that's why I directly asked to check this service with the plan. If this service will be the eligible, then we will not create a new service and can export this as well. So let's wait for the findings. Before proceeding with the plan, we have to review the implementation plan of the phase 1 and check if any changes are required, so that we can identify changes early, which will be good. So we have to review the phase 1 implementation plan. In that it is saying that it will create the new services for the getOrdersToPick, createPicklist, picklist for packing, recordPick, and completePicklist. I think we have existing OFBiz service that can be used here. So let me ask to check the compatibility and the feasibility of using the existing service here, so that we will do not need to new service. Here if I prompt like, can we use the existing service for getting list of orders to pick, find order to pick is the OFBiz service, check the feasibility for this. So on prompting this, it is the result that yes, find orders to pick move is not only feasible but highly recommended. It is the standard OFBiz engine identify what can be picked at the specific facility, and it is also recommended that using this service, but also recommended the wrapping of this. We will implement our proposed pick service, which is that calls final order. This will help in the passing the parameter and getting the required output for our app. So this makes sense. We can continue with this. Also, for the create pick list and get pick list, we should also check the existing services for other like create pick list, get pick list for pick up pick, record pick, and complete pick list. In this way, we will have the list of the existing services that can be used by this service. So before proceeding on the plan, we should check all the existing code and services before proceeding. So here, that's why I am saying that we should have the knowledge of the existing code before going to work with AI agents. Okay. On asking to check for the existing services, it returns the mapping of the existing service with the new services, and it is suggesting that for the create pick list, we can use create pick list from orders, perfect match, get picklist details, get picklist and package report info, perfect match, and record pick, set picklist to complete, perfect, highly feasible, and check picklist being item status highly feasible. This service check all the items picklist. Okay, so it's suggesting so that, but it's also suggesting to create a new services for so that they can call the existing service and return the response feasible to the our PWA. So this looks good to me, but I see current doubt on the picklist record pick, in which it is mapping this with complete task. This service and transition picklist item set to picklist completed, and check all the items in the picklist. Okay. There are some confusion in the record pick and the picklist completed item. So uh, let me ask you. Service is for marking picklist as completed, while we need to mark picklist as picked. So need to revisit this service. So here my concern is that the set picklist item to complete is for the marking the picklist as complete, but in the record pick we want to mark the picklist as the picked, not the completed. So I have prompted it and it started working. Yeah. Set picklist item to complete service is for marking picklist as complete, while we need to mark picklist as the picked, so need to revisit this service. I doubt that this service will not be in use, so let's check it first. On the prompting this, it finding that the set picklist item to complete pending picklist item can't be picked. Part only transit pending too. Okay, so it completed the item and marked the pick list as a picked after all items of the pick list will be completed. So in this way, when I I ask that we don't want to change any business logic, any status flow transition of the existing flow. We just want to add the additional support of the PWA on the existing business flow. So I asked to revisit the check that we are not changing any flow. On prompting this, um, it's agree with me and suggested that for the peak discovery flow, this will use peak orders from reusing existing pick list creation. Okay, and for the record picking, it will call two services: update pick list item for the quantity and the item is still pick list complete. And after that, our existing ICA service will automatically mark pick list as picked. So these are the good. Uh, After this session, I also have doubt that in the implementation plan it mentioned the complete pick list. So I asked this. So looks like we will not require to complete pick list, right? So it confirmed that the complete pick list not required because your existing already handles it automatically. So this is handling through the Sika rule. So this is not required. So seems that we are good now. And after checking the compatibility and feasibility of the existing services and reviewing the phase 1 path, we can start. So first update the implementation plan and also update ticket on Jira accordingly. Of phase 1 should mention so that we can start one by one. So yeah. once the implementation plan will be updated and the ticket will be updated, we can proceed with the plan. So here are the final updation in the implementation plan and the ticket. Uh, Map the actions existing for this and record the data. So Sika, okay, and updated the issue. Find it. We are ready. Yeah, we are ready to. I am accepting the changes here and check the ticket has been updated or not. Given ticket. Yeah. So here is the clear list of the mappings of the existing service with the okay. So all looks good to me. Now we are ready to proceed with the further implementation plan of the phase one, and yeah, okay, proceed with implementation plan of phase one. So we are ready to go, and I am asking to proceed for this plan. On proceeding with the implementation plan, here is the output of it and is suggested changes in OFBiz component. So we can review and accept component name, picking, okay, makes sense. And in the services, the services picking dot, okay, these names are not acceptable here. So we can ask and there is picking services. Okay. So location. There are some suggestions for services names. Prefer skills file. Also prefer REST API skill file for service export and make changes accordingly. So here I am not directly giving the instruction. I am redirecting it to the skills file so that it can read the best practices on the service name and also know about the REST API in the OFBiz. So alternatively, I can directly instruct, but I just want to check how it will work here. So, into the skills files, uh, it read it and following are the suggestions. It recorrected the service name that I was supposed to uh, and use the verb noun. Also in the REST API, it uses export through and action get or post automatically defined reservoir. So that these are the changes. Now I check. So names has been updated, export through and actions are there. So it's good to go. So I am accepting the changes now. The backend is now ready and correctly configured for the PWA frontend to consume directly via REST. Okay, so here we will wait and review the next phase. Would you like to proceed with the phase 2 API exposure verification or start on this one? Okay, so we will go through the phase 2 API closure. Proceed with phase 2 verification. Firstly, asking to proceed with phase 2 API explorer verification so that we are clear on till now. Yeah, after the exposure of verification on the phase 2 implementation plan, it provided the plan for the date in which it suggested to introduce the picking REST API, but in the OFBiz we have we can export the service directly using the export through, so we do not need to do. So I am asking to revisit this, and yeah, I commented on the implementation plan. Do you think we will need to export the picklist REST X1 as we already exported services? Refer skill files for it. So I have navigated it to the skill files again so that it can rotate after the navigation and checking. It's agree with this, and it agreed to remove the res.xml. There is no need to add the res.xml file explicitly. After that, it's again suggesting the code setup and the security that I think this will be required for the PWA. So I am planning to proceed with the suggested plan for the phase 2. Before proceeding, now the implementation plan has been finalized and reviewed by us, then we can update this on the ticket. To update implementation plan and onto ticket as well. Yeah. After the verification, we asked to update the implementation plan and the details on the ticket. It updated the ticket as well with the details of the direct export strategy, and on the other hand, it also updated the implementation plan of the phase 2 here and declared that the phase 2 has been completed and we are ready to go for the phase 3. So I am accepting the changes of the course origin allowed. We will not commit this in the OFBiz, but just for the our testing purpose, these changes are accepting for now. So now we will have to move on the phase 3 implementation, and in that we will follow the similar approach. First we'll review the phase 3 implementation plan, suggested plan deeply, and check that it is correct or not.